Hey everybody, welcome to Girls Game Shelf. Today I have the pleasure of previewing for you the Shivers game. This game is kind of like an RPG meets escape room meets pop-up puzzle. Yeah, look at that! That's amazing! In this cooperative adventure puzzle game, you are playing a member of the Shivers family. And the Shivers family seem to always find themselves in interesting situations, we'll say. To tell you more about the game, I'm going to be using a mock scenario created by the designer. And I also want to let you know that none of the artwork or components are final. In this game, one of the players is going to be the storyteller, kind of like a game master, if you will. Now, that's going to take a little bit of studying this episode guide before any of the shenanigans begin. The guide is going to give you a lot of important information, like what the setup for this game is, and which characters are required for this particular episode. It will also give you the episode summary, and steps that will be required for players to meet in order to tell the story. While the storyteller is perusing this little parcel of information, the other players are going to be given a magnifying glass so that they can discover things inside the rooms, along with a little place to take notes about their inventory. They're going to be choosing their characters too, members of the Shivers family to be exact, and each member has a different skill set and different fears. For example, Veronica Shivers, the mother of the group. She's a 40-something, seemingly perfect mother who speaks many different languages, is a private detective, and very afraid of bugs. The storyteller's always going to sit back here. Want to know why? Because of this little thing. Look at that. The front of the card has images for the players to discover in the room, and the back of the card has information for the storyteller. The game begins with the storyteller reading the episode intro to the players, while they and their little figurines wait outside the parlor. In this episode, the Shivers family are all having a relaxing evening at home when there is a mysterious knock at the door. When they answer it, nobody's there, except a bouquet of flowers, with a note that says, "Follow the bee, and hurry." When they look at the bouquet, a bee emerges from it and buzzes all the way down the street to Mirador Manor. They follow the bee and watch it as it slips underneath the door of the manor. The sun is setting, casting long shadows over the gates of the manor. What do they do? And that is how it begins, because hopefully they're going to follow the bee into the manor. Otherwise, you're not going to have a game. Now that is step number 1. Remember those steps on the card that the storyteller's trying to get the players to do? Step 1 is pretty easy, right? Follow the bee. From this point on, each character is going to take turns by doing one action at a time. An action is anything that would take 5 to 10 seconds, like following a bee. Upon entering the room, the storyteller is going to read the players a little blurb about where they are and sit back as they explore by spending their actions to pick things up, look at them, investigate them. Now remember, the storyteller has the episode guide, but on the back of this card, there's also more information about what is in this room for this particular episode. For example, if they want to look closely at the vase of roses, there's a vase of roses with a small bee and water inside them. Dun, dun, dun! Is it the bee? God, I hope the bee is okay. We need bees. Bees are important. Another example of something that they might investigate is the note on the table. There's a note, you guys. You can ask the storyteller what it says. The storyteller reads on the back that the note says, "Burn this note." But remember, there are specific steps that the team needs to take in order to advance the story. The step in this particular room is, in fact, to burn the note. And once the note has been read, then you can unlock the library. These rooms slip together by magnets, so they won't move around and they're not too sensitive. And the little kickstands, even though this is just a prototype, are pretty hardy. As you unlock rooms and explore them, you're gonna find items that you can equip into your inventory. And to do that, you simply write it on your board. If you run out of room on your inventory board, it means you're carrying too much and you've got to erase something. So the story will progress with players deciphering codes and solving puzzles and unlocking more rooms. Let me put this one together. This is the laboratory. It's very cool looking. Now, sometimes a player is going to want to do something that takes either skill or luck. And in that instance, the storyteller might ask them to roll the die. This die does not have numbers on it, though. This die has 4 possible outcomes. Either it works, it doesn't work, it kind of works, or it backfires. It's up to the storyteller and the players to decide what that means in their story. But how does this game end? It does, after all, only last for 30 to 60 minutes. Well, at some point, the characters are going to find themselves in a climactic situation. Like in this episode, a giant bee monster appears, and the players have to defeat the bee monster, but not killing all the bees, because bees, like we said, are important. There are several ways that this bee can be defeated, with inventory or skills that the players have, and the storyteller is privy to what's going to work and what's not going to work. So it's up to the players to work together creatively using their skills and their inventory, and hopefully the dice will be kind. When all of the steps have been completed, the storyteller will read the ending and then game over. Until next time, because check this out, it flips over. That's right, that was only one episode. There are so many more episodes to be had. Maybe more rooms to even attach and discover, more clues to figure out, more puzzles to solve, and more adventures to be had. This game is coming to Kickstarter, so go ahead and click the link below if you want more information on that. And feel free to ask any questions you might have. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.